more of an impact than the Roadhog potentially could. I think the Roadhog's gonna do more.
Select your hero.
And we go from having 1 support to having 3. Okay. Honestly, could probably work. The Mercy is named Hugmaster. It's actually named Hug Monster. She's been trying her little heart out, bless. Poor Mercy. I always feel bad for solo healers because I often, well, sometimes am a solo healer. It's never fun.
Are we gonna be okay with no defense? Defense heroes, I mean.
That's... Can I point out, okay? I just want to say for posterity's sake at this point, just because there are heroes labeled as defense does not necessarily make them must picks on the defense. For example, I sent something to Ryan today where during it I say that just because Widowmaker is in defense, don't get it into your head that she is a defensive pick. Widowmaker is honestly much better on offense in my opinion. She's in the defensive group.
That is true.
So
if he can get his teleporter recognized.
We have 3 supports. We have limited long-range capabilities, but we have a Symmetra, so we can play around the shield. We can play around the turrets a lot and try and get a lot done with that. In general, we should be able to put a lot of pressure on their Reinhardt with that as well. But the objective is to try and hold on the first point. Ooh. Indigestion. The coffee, it's not sitting well. I'm saying that person's called Hung Master. I don't think they're called Hung Master. If they are called Hung Master, then that's an interesting lady.
Be sure to stretch before engaging in rigorous physical activity.
Okay. And honestly, with the 3 supports, like, I'm fine with this combo of supports. Like, Zenyatta can deal a lot of damage. He's like semi-healing, semi-DPS. He's sort of a half-half support, so it sort of makes up for Symmetra's half-half support nature as well. Like, support defense and support offense, almost. Sort of how I break these 2 down. Nurse is just like pure 100% undiluted support, and yeah, you sort of go from there.
The Pharah Mercy combo. It's way too overpowered.
3, 2, 1.
I just gotta shoot the Mercy out of the sky. Just same target.
Oh wow.
They have a Widow? Okay. What that means is we have to... Like, let's break down offensive Widowmaker on King's Row, because this is actually a really good point to make. If you see that they have a Widowmaker, you've got to think of your defense in stages as the Widowmaker. Like, think about what Widowmaker's positioning is going to be. She's going to start up here, then she usually goes here, and then she'll try and usually get over here. And so the idea is that she's sort of working her way around the point to get an overview on the point. When she's over in this area, that's when it really starts becoming a problem. When she's over here, it's not so bad. But as the Reinhardt, that means what we want to do is kind of shepherd the team back. And so if we think about King's Row as a big square, like, let's ignore the back alley. The back alley sort of goes up here. Whatever, it goes to the high ground up here. We've got the high ground area here. We've got the point over here. And most importantly, we've got like the hotel area here, okay? I should not have used that in blue, but whatever. Get the idea. And then, you know, you got the rest of the tunneling that way. This is to the spawn and all that kind of stuff. Okay? But we want to think of it in terms of like, okay, let's put the statue in as well. That's just kind of important. We want to think of it in terms of just like holding back, and our main area of defense is going to be over here. It sounds really weird to say, but we can use the hotel and basically still put a lot of threat and pressure on the point, but we can hide over here and we could just pull back. So we're starting about here, which is about right, and we just pull back, and then when Widow gets over here, we want to be defending about here, and then we pull back even further and defending about here while waiting for something to get rid of the Widow or waiting to win the fight elsewhere. For example, if you have a Roadhog or even a Symmetra, you have people moving through the hotel, which has cover, where they can start shooting out and doing stuff there. You can use the Symmetra shields. You can fire Symmetra shields up at the Widowmaker. This is all going a bit John Madden. It's like there's just nothing but scrawling all over the screen. But Symmetra can sort of put shields on the Widowmaker in terms of like aiming barriers at her and just stop her damage output quite so much. The main thing that we should be concerned with right now is that we have 3 supports, 2 tanks, I believe, and 1 DPS, and the 1 DPS has just died. And that's a big problem because now we have to take it really slowly and we just try and drag the fight out because we're trying to wait for soldiers to get back to deal more damage than their team could possibly deal. What we definitely don't want to see is people running forward, and this is where you should be calling out to the team, okay, they have Widow, pull back a bit, just stay behind the barrier. Especially got a first kill, that's good. Symmetra going a little bit aggressive, I'm not too fussed with. I'm okay with that fire strike. Even though Widow lands a headshot on us, we just get picked up, it gives Mercy a shitload of charge. Like, Visor is not as much of a problem. Like, Infrasight is good, but res is better, so I'm fine with us just picking up a free res. Be careful about pushing out here though, because you got to remember there's going to be people following behind you that have 200 hit points, and there's nothing really pressuring the Widow up here. So she could just take her time, get a headshot on anything, trying to sort of fight around here. Luckily, their team is doing a really bad job of dealing with these turrets. Really bad job of dealing with these turrets, so the Symmetra should be very close to full charge. You can, in theory, hold by this wall. But again, if you're going to hold by that wall, don't use this route to hold by that wall. Use this route. Because then you are not getting damaged. You are not getting hit by the Widow. You are not giving the Widow any opportunities. What she will do, however, is start moving around. Ideally, she'll start moving to over here and then start moving to over here, where she will just be incredibly hard to deal with. This is a bit weird that the Reaper managed to get all the way in. I'm guessing he teleported through. Bit of a shame that Zen dies. I'm honestly fine with us pulling back to deal with this. Again, we're not really stopping anything at the front. Like, there's no front damage until the Widowmaker repositions, but we have a couple of seconds before she does to slam a couple of hits on this, and then we can put our barrier up here, try and cover the Soldier. Tell Soldier to stand behind your barrier, for the love of God. Don't like this at all. Don't like this at all. The only thing stopping Widowmaker killing everyone on your team right now is you.
I see that Widow.
So make sure that you are keeping your barrier up, because as long as your barrier is there, the Widowmaker isn't doing anything. It's getting no value at all.
Oh, wow.
So try and keep covering people. Try and keep blocking these shots.
Oh.
They have wall hack, but again, like, God. When you see a surprise Reinhardt, this is why you put, and especially when he jumps, just put your barrier up. Like, you have time here to see this blurry mass that is the Reinhardt. We have time to block that.
Oh.
We just put our barrier up. And this is honestly like a good rule of thumb in general, I think, is when you come face to face, especially while you're still learning, when you come face to face with an enemy Reinhardt, just put your barrier up. Because odds are he's going to instantly try and Earth Shatter, and if you don't do that, then... And when you do, like, if you put the barrier up and he hits you with his hammer or something, who gives a shit? You know, don't care. I've got a healer. I've got 2 healers. I've got 3 healers. So I'm not really going to give a shit about that. Well, 2 supports and a Symmetra teleporter, so whatever. But if he sees that you don't have your barrier up, that gives him options and makes him think, okay, I can hit the Reinhardt or I can Earth Shatter. And in this case, well, he's already Earth Shattering as he jumps, so we should catch that. Let's turn around, put the barrier up. I know that we're eager to get this Earth Shatter, but honestly, we're going to get this Earth Shatter pretty much no matter what. We should just be stopping, like, we should trust in our team a little bit and just put a barrier up. Stop all their damage coming in, because, like, they have damage sources here. Like, okay, so this is extremely blurry. Let's wait for a keyframe, maybe. Effects a bit right, ladies and gents. But they had a Reaper, Far Earth. They had a Widow potentially in the back here. Like, this is Widow's optimal position. So it's like... we need to be scared about this, so we should be putting our barrier up, and then if they are still committing, then we can Earth Shatter and just win the fight. But just trust in our team. That's Symmetra just fucking up. Let's cover these people. That Widowmaker is still going to keep killing people. It's not going to stop. And this is why I say you got to pull back into that hotel area, because nothing can deal with that Widow. Nothing can deal with it. And so you should be focusing your fighting around the hotel instead, where we can deal with the Ana, we can deal with the Reaper. We have people that actually handle that kind of stuff. We can actually manage that. Like, this is the area where our team should be positioned. Instead, they're going too far forward, and Widow's just doing whatever she wants. This Widow is having a dream of a game, basically. You can take her time.
Wow, it went right through you. It only hit me.
It's a nice Earth Shatter. Should be a kill on the Reinhardt. Good, 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 good. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Mercy. Oh, we got the Ana. Can we get any more? Oh, the charge on the Reaper. Oh no, the Mercy guns us down in cold blood. Cold blood, cold as blood. Okay, we should have yeah, we probably should have charged towards the Mercy. The problem with charging towards the Mercy is no matter what, we're probably scooping up either this or this. Like, we're scooping up one of these 2 targets. We're either here, or we're going this way. But yeah, like I would have tried to probably aim a charge here so that we finish up next to the Mercy, and then we can actually hit that. I'm taking this split second to make a decision about what we're doing, because you have time when you do an Earth Shatter to generally consider where your charge is going. And it's not a bad idea to like take a swing or take a Fire Strike and use the time in the Fire Strike to think about what you're doing next, to actually take a moment to consider, and then going, okay. Because we probably did want that Mercy. We do get the Ryan. I would have probably stayed on the Mercy here, but just because if we turn around, we start smacking the Mercy, Ana can't heal the Mercy. Like if you think about it from like a top-down point of view, this is Ana, this is Mercy, and this is us. So Ana can't heal through people. It doesn't work. She can't do it. So we've effectively blocked off Mercy's healing. In theory, Mercy could just keep healing this Ana and be a massive pain in the ass. So I'd have perhaps stayed on the Mercy. We might have died to the Reaper regardless. I think this fight was kind of already over. And honestly, the team was kind of in a losing position. You're relying on like Zenyatta, for example, to get the Widow. That's Soldier 76 coming in big with the visor. He gets one, he gets a rocket on the Mercy. Can he get even more, ladies and gentlemen? Mr. Sick, living up to his name.
My ultimate is almost ready.
I think the Pharah's got a nano boost and is above. Judging by what I'm hearing. Hearing, even. Okay, now that the Pharah was gone in, we should definitely be swinging into that. Barrier up. She's gonna barrage. Barrier up. Upwards, upwards, up. Okay, she's gone. You can definitely catch this Reaper on the way out. So spoiler, Reaper's just come out of the hotel. So keep an eye on this Pharah, but when you see this Reaper, like, okay, we see there's a Reaper here. Fun fact, Reaper is gonna poke out here, and I haven't even seen this, but I know exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna poke out here, go, I can't deal with all of this, so I'm gonna Wraith Form, and he's gonna come this way, and he's gonna go out there. That's what he should be doing. So what we can do is we can turn, we can face this way, and then we could just get ready with a Fire Strike and just catch him on the way out and maybe kill him. Depends on if there's healing available, but just putting pressure over here. Because, hey, look, Reaper, he's gone this way. Let's try and step back a bit so we can block the Pharah. We should be keeping more of an eye on the Pharah here. So, like, we know that the Pharah's up there. Just tilting a little bit up is no problem. Like, it takes quite a bit for Reinhardt to lift his barrier off the ground. So, just looking up a little bit, keeping an eye on where the Pharah is, just so we can catch some of these rockets. Not too bad of an idea. Yeah, for Winston now. We know they don't have Earth Shatter at least because they kind of used it. Although he might have built up a new one. Risky charge, but if we get value off it, then maybe. This is sort of the danger of charging when they have Nana and you don't. Oh, God, I can't believe you got that. Oh my God, the damage, no! Oh, the Reinhardt. Hashtag just Reinhardt things. So, like, to me, this is risky, but once you've committed to it, like, they have anti-healing on you. If the Reaper turned around, we were so done. Holy shit, we were so done. Reaper eventually does notice, but it's just... 6 health. 6 health. I'm okay with the Fire Strike here. I'm okay with a swing as well, but then when we get here, it's such a shame that the Mercy goes flying so far, and then there's just no way we're surviving that. I think the charge was a poor decision. I still think this charge was a poor decision. Like, we still have 2,000 barrier at this point, so it's like, why are we throwing that away? 1,400 barrier for our team to be using. And we basically taken that 1,400 hit points and gone. Like, there's no reason for us to be charging just yet. We can just take our time with it a little bit more. And just try and build it up from the front, pull back a little bit, slowly grind our way back, let our team do some damage. Instead, we're just splitting off, and while we do get a good value Earth Shatter, there's nothing to say that we wouldn't get it elsewhere. There's a good chance that the Winston's going to jump on us, for example. We just hit him once, and then we have an Earth Shatter. Yeah, and then the Pharah just gets a flank again, gets a kill.
Every time I try to go kill someone, they die. On fire.
Objective lost.
Oh.
Yeah, boys, 3 minutes.
There we go, okay.
We can do this. I can do this.
See, Mercy providing support. Actually, I do like doing that. Just saying, don't worry guys, we got this.
Group up,
It's like,
get farther up.
you know, it's 2 minutes 30 that you got to do. Hey, Summers. Oh lord, Summers 4, 5, and 8. I don't know what was particular about Summers 458, but that one was special. We get the Summer 69. Okay, we got a shield generator. This means we can honestly play a little bit more ballsy. We should honestly be looking to contest this corner, but okay, now that the Winston jumped in, we should definitely be... I'd be more worried about what this Reinhardt's going to do. He likely has Earthshadow now. So we do want to sort of keep man-moding against the Reinhardt. Case in point, I think the Zarya barrier blocked it. Transcendence is now blocking all the damage. So we sort of lucked out there, because that could have gone incredibly badly. Yeah, in this instance, like, we haven't seen Earthshadow in a while, so we just want to man-mode up to their Reinhardt. And just keep our barrier up as long as possible. You use charge when your barrier is going down, and you try and catch him with it, and make sure that he can't do what he wants. Like, that's what I would say would be the ideal. Because we can just sort of keep pressure on them. The fact that we get the Ana is a little bit lucky, but the real luck here is, I think the Zarya bubble stopped the Earthshadow coming through. Like, Zarya perfectly positioned to catch it. No one gets stunned, and then Transcendence just stops all the damage coming through. And now we could just keep man-moding up here. Good. No! No, 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 no! Winston barrier! You fool! You sweet, beautiful fool! Winston barrier works just like Reinhardt barrier. Works just like any other barrier in the game. It will stop. Hammer down. That was overly risky. And if we're taking a swing or two, the thing that I don't like is the fact that we're crossing over the doorway. Sounds like a weird thing to say, but we should be stopping here. And we should just plonk our barrier. Whoops, wrong thing. We should just plonk our barrier here. And I know that we're eager to get the Earthshadow, but honestly, we could still probably get it at this point. But we could just plonk our barrier here. Stay nice and tucked between the payload and the wall. And honestly, because they don't have a Reinhardt, that's not a big problem anymore. And that will let our team also come back and rejoin us. Lets us regroup. And means that the Reaper can't just run in behind us and get free shots on our back. Because what ends up happening is almost disaster. Because let's say that our team had followed up behind us and had sort of come round. Screen is very red, so let's use blue. So let's say that this is the corner. This is like the wall. Oop. And then you got like the rest of the pub thing here. There's a health pack here. Okay. And then like this is the rest of the corner. And we have the payload sat like this. Okay. So this is kind of the situation that's happening right now in game. And what we want to do is get our barrier like across here. So that we're stood here. And our team could follow up in behind us. What ends up happening is almost disaster, because we end up going over here. And if our team had actually followed up behind us into this little area, and their Reaper had come out and then Death Blossomed, it would have just killed everyone. It would have been a complete massacre, basically. And especially if he has this bubble to play around with. If he gets one kill, he'll heal and just keep on getting more. Luckily, he does go down to the soldier before he gets any value. And then this is just rushed. And luckily, like, we get a free ultimate pinata to build up on. We should just be... Yep, like, I'm fine just smacking him now. He's there to be smacked on. Like, there's no other real threats, especially if attack fires going off. Now let's reset and let's hold this corner.
Not bad.
I like this. I like this.
Not bad.
Reaper is gonna try to come from almost ready. So just watch out for Reaper.
Very good call. Very good call. Just reminding people that, hey, there's a flank route in this map. Reaper's probably going to be coming that way. Farah might be coming that way. Something is probably going to be coming from that flank route.
Don't turn around the corner.
Excessive gameplay can inconvenience... You've played for 1 hour? Really? There's warnings for that?
Make her to us.
I didn't even know this was a thing. I've never seen it. This is why being a little bit too far back could be a bit of a disaster. Like, we've just let them gain way too much ground here. I know that you're scared about the Reaper, but you should have someone spotting for that who isn't you. And we should be thinking about, like, the other 5 members of the team coming up. We are stood behind our team. This should not be happening.
Don't turn around the corner.
Like,
Make her to us.
this is... No. No. We should be over here. That means that our team can poke. Like, you can see the Zenyatta's trying to shell damage out. The soldier is probably also trying to do the same. It means that we can put damage onto their barrier. We can do it safely. This is just running the risk of someone getting annihilated and picked.
They're flanking on.
It does give us a good opportunity to get a free charge, but even this is risky. Oh, there's good craft though. We just keep swinging. Keep swinging. Just keep swinging. Yes! Yes! There's a nice thing with Graviton Surge where generally, if they aren't using any ultimates, Reinhardt plus area is more than enough to kill everything in it. We didn't even need the hammer down there. The hammer down's excessive. This is just like a knowledge thing, but you don't need to do this. You absolutely don't need to do this. You can worry about this if like they're firing off ultimates, or if they fire off ultimates to sort of start countering you. Maybe you want to do it for safety, but if they're not firing anything off, just keep smacking away. You'll kill everything eventually. Trust me.
Good job, guys. 60 seconds.
The problem is we don't have any.
Save your ult.
Okay. Alright, Mercy, hide. And
Yeah, Mercy, you can't die.
yeah, you can't die. If you die, we lose.
Okay, I'm gonna stay alive.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they're coming up with plan. Oh god, no, we should be barriering though. Like, as much as I like this pep talk, you know, soldiers, we have one chance. We have 50 seconds to hold here on this second point of King's Row. We can do it, ladies and gentlemen. And you're just standing there and you got a big cigar out your mouth and you're, we can do this, ladies and gentlemen. We can show those dirty rats exactly what we're gonna do. Mercy, you don't die. Mercy, just stay alive and hide. And your res is gonna be integral. And while you're doing this, fucking bullets are raining in and Zenyatta's about to explode. We can do this while keeping a barrier up, while protecting our team, while spotting what they're doing and spotting stuff that's happening. We don't need to do the role play, walk back and forth, and tell the team what's happening. We can be a functional Reinhardt and tell the team stuff that's going on at the same time. Again, why aren't we cuddling the Symmetra? Why aren't we protecting the Symmetra? We should be cuddling the Symmetra. If this Reinhardt wants to charge you, honestly, you're not too worried about that. Although this Mercy's now a little bit overexposed. I don't like that charge at all. When Justice goes off like this, turn and block it. This is like the highest damage source available to them right now. There's nothing more scary than the barrage coming out that's like going to kill someone. If you use all of your barrier, and you've got a good like 1400 of it, you can block a huge amount of damage coming out of the barrage. Maybe buy someone enough time to actually like kill the Pharah. Instead, we go for this charge here. We get the Zarya, but by then we've lost a bunch. That said, Mercy's still alive. She pops the res. I'm fine with that. I see that Mercy's positioning, I get what they're going for here. They've set up a ton of turrets in the pub. And it's like, Mercy's just like bait. Like, come in here, please, please. But then Nano Boosted Reinhardt comes in and ruins everyone's fun. He just swings his hammer once while spinning into 360 and kills all the turrets and doesn't give a shit about the turrets, because why would he? That's it. Still plenty of opportunity. They have to just stay on the payload. You have to win one team fight. And they have to get a long distance. We're still okay. Game's not over yet. This is a good point to remind the team, like, just regroup, guys. Like, this is such a waste. You don't need to do this. You could have just, this is where, like, a regroup call is very useful. Because, honestly, you only need to contest here. You should be thinking in terms of, like, where's the next team fight going to happen? Well, if we all regroup, we can probably have a team fight here. On this, like, on the final checkpoint. And then if we win that, then we win outright. If we don't win that, then they get, I think, 30 seconds. And then we can have another team fight on this corner. So that's kind of what's happening in my head right now, is a breakdown of, okay, we probably have two team fights. Let's save our resources for those, because what's happening now is Zenyatta's just used his ultimate. And now Mercy's gone nuts to try and save him. And so I kind of get what Zenyatta was hoping for there, but it's way too optimistic.
They for sure will make it.
Nice. Let's turn. This is a great Earth Shatter. Nice. Can the Mercy be caught? No! Oh, it's good sleeved up by their ender. There's the res, but this didn't catch this area. No! When the res goes up, we want to be considering where their Reinhardt is. When the Mercy didn't die, like, that's our cue to, okay, you hear that ching of the res, we should be turning around and facing the Reinhardt and going, no, you don't get to do anything. We shouldn't be chasing this Mercy. Already, like, her value in the team fight is just on, you know, I'm going to do it. I'm going to draw a graph. You know, Mercy value, it's just on this. Maybe not quite that dramatic, but it's had a severe drop-off. Probably more to about here, being realistic. Once the res is down, she's still annoying, she's still a lot of healing, but she's no longer the team-ending fucking boss, final boss that she is. She's irritating. Meanwhile, the Reinhardt, who's gone from dead to alive, has just done this on an infinite scale, because being dead is completely fucking useless. So, yeah, we want to be turning around and smacking the Reinhardt. Luckily, I think during the resurrect, they're immortal, so it doesn't count as being on the point, so...
You got a platinum on your team.
You got a platinum on your team, ladies. I don't mean to be disparaging. I don't, but it is great to hear stuff like that, and I know it's all about like frames of reference, but it's still, yeah, guys, you got a platinum on your team. No worries. You scoop up player of the game though. Let's have a look at this fat player of the game. We get the big charge. And then I know what happens next. We'll just swing it left, right, and center, ladies and gentlemen. Graviton Surge comes in. Everyone pull into it. We throw an Earth Shatter into it for good measure, because why the fuck not? Let's celebrate our team kill and just throw an ult in there for fun. And we get it. And we also get a card. Very nice. Okay, what would I say to this person? The biggest change you could make is just find opportunities, find the places to rest your barrier. Find your places. Don't insult us, Josh. You know, it's only friendly ribbing and I do it with love. Just... It's no worries, man. There's a platinum. It's banter. I'm sure you can live. You'll live. Anyway, right. Yeah, so find opportunities to rest your barrier. Find opportunities to, you know, make sure that you aren't over-engaging with the charges. I say these charges are often very risky, and you're charging when you still have like 1500 barrier at times. And that's basically, if you think about in terms of like how many hit points does my team have, and you factor your barrier into that, and you think, well, like, let's look at our team lineup, okay? So that's 200, 400, 200, 200, 200. And then you've got Reinhardt, who's technically 500 hit points, but he has 2000 hit points, so that's 25. And then just put 2 zeros on the end of it. So this, like, all of these hit points don't add up still to your 2000 hit point barrier. This is an important thing to understand. Like, when you're not in a position to get your barrier out and deploy the barrier, you are throwing away a huge portion of the team's hit points, and that's a huge amount of damage you could be blocking with it. Honestly, I would say that you played pretty well other than that. Like, you honestly aren't making too many errors. This is always a frustrating and hard thing to deal with as Reinhardt, is when the enemy team is very flanker heavy and very, you know, even though when I say flanker, people usually think Genji Tracer, this Pharah and this Reinhardt were, this Pharah and this Reaper were playing like flankers. So it's very difficult to deal with that as Reinhardt. All you can do is block out the tanks, try and shut down their Reinhardt as much as possible. Definitely, you know, be ready to catch enemy Reinhardt Earth Shatters. Constantly be thinking in terms of, does he have his shadow ready? Is he moving in a different way? Like, is he like really desperately trying to hit me repeatedly? Because that might be a sign that he's trying to build up charge. If he like suddenly runs in and hits you once or twice and then stops and runs back, that's a sign that he's probably just built up his Earth Shatter. Or if he's like really desperately going for fire strikes constantly, that's a sign that he might not have much charge. Like, there's different ways you can sort of read Reinhardt. It comes with practice and experience, but you will be able to read them. And now you can hear me and Ryan do it all the time, where we see a Reinhardt move in a very specific way and we just go, yeah, he's got Earth Shatter. And we just know it instantly. And it's like, yeah, we know he's looking for an Earth Shatter. And pretty much everyone on the team at like higher levels will go, yeah, he's definitely setting something up. It's predictable, and it's hard not to be predictable, but it's a big factor to sort of good Reinhardt play. Otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't be too disappointed. Again, just occasionally also we run forward a little bit too fast, so just keep in mind that when your team dies, they will need time to respawn and regroup. So especially in like the specific instance I'm thinking of is back here in the first half, where we sort of end up standing out here in the middle of nowhere, and we get hooked by this Roadhog. Like, we shouldn't be this far forward because most of our team has just died. So what are we actually protecting here that we couldn't be protecting standing even further back? And you might be thinking, well, sure, but I've got all this ground here. But the thing is, their team has like the Reaper, the Roadhog, a Reinhardt of their own. their team is very good at close range, so we want to be staying at that medium range for now, while waiting for our team to regroup. This is way too far forward, and especially once the Zarya dies, we should just be pulling back out of there, regrouping with the team, making sure that we can see some of our team, so that stuff like this Roadhog can't just, like this Roadhog, because there's not enough people behind us, freely manage to move around and hook us. So we're too far forward. That makes sense. Okay, now's a really good time to start asking questions, chat, and we'll start taking them. I'm going to find a keyframe. Let's actually go to about that bullet missing. Oh, Overwatch is some cool visuals at times. Let's get into position. While I wait for questions to come in, I can see some coming in now, but I want to... I think I saw a really clear frame in there. There we go. That's a good frame. Oh, hello.